This video tutorial I will explain what are REST web services. There are two ways we can implement web services. The first way is SOAP, Simple Object Access Protocol, and the second way is REST, Representational State Transfer. Using web services, two different applications can communicate with each other. Here you can see service consumer which sends a request to service provider. Service provider receives the request and process the request and send the response back to the service consumer. Here you can see the definition of RESTful web service. A web service that communicates or exchanges information between two different applications using REST architecture or REST principle is called RESTful web service. And REST is the acronym for Representational State Transfer. And REST is the architectural style, and it is not protocol like SOAP. And REST defines set of principles to be followed while designing a service for communication or data exchange between two different applications. And when these principles are applied while designing web services, we get RESTful web services. Here we will see what are the principles or constraints of REST architecture. The first one is uniform interface. And in that we will see what is resource, what is URI, and what is HTTP. And the second one is stateless. And in RESTful web service, all client server communications are stateless. And third one is cacheable. And in RESTful web service, hashing happens at client side. And fourth one is layered system. And in RESTful web service, layers can exist between client and server. We will see that. And the last one is code on demand. And in code on demand concept, we can download and execute code on the client side. Here you can see the employee management system. It has employee modules, and it has employee ID and name. And it has departments module. It has department ID and name. And it has some other modules also. And in RESTful web service, each module can be defined as resources. In case of employees, there is a employees resource. In case of departments, there is a department resource. And for each other modules, there is a resource. So in case of RESTful web service, everything is a resource. And these resource or data can be accessed by URI. And here you can see the examples of URI. Suppose I want to get all the employees, then I can use this URI. Suppose I want to get a particular employee detail, then I can use this URI. This URI will give the information of the employee whose ID is 10. And suppose I want to get all the departments, then I can use this URI. Suppose I want to get the particular department detail, then I can use this URI. And suppose I want to get employees who belongs to the department 123, then I can use this URI. The key abstraction of information in REST is a resource, and a resource can be a document or image and so on. Using HTTP methods along with URI, we can access or modify any resource or resource information. Here you can see the HTTP methods: get, post, put, delete. To create the resource, we can use a post method. To get the resource or read the resource, we can use get method. To update the resource, we can use put method. To delete the resource, we can use delete method. Suppose I want to get a list of employees, then I can use this URI with get method. And suppose I want to get the employee whose ID is 10, then I can use this URI along with get method. Suppose I want to delete the employee whose ID is 10, then I can use this URI with delete method. To create the new employee, we have to use this URI along with the post method. In the body of the request, we have to send data of the new employee. And suppose we want to modify the employee whose ID is 10. Then we can use this URI along with the put method. And in the body of the request, we have to send data of the employee to be changed. If you notice in RESTful web service, HTTP method or HTTP actions are verbs like get, post, put, delete or verbs. And resource name should be nouns like proper resource name. Here you can see get is the HTTP action, and here you can see the URI, and in URI the resource name is there, which is noun. And here you can see the URL http examples.com and get employees /10. This is not a proper way in REST, because get employees is action, not the proper noun. And this is the proper one. Like employees is the resource name, and get method we are using. In RESTful web service, we can access or modify the resource using URI along with HTTP methods like get, put, post, and delete. Each resource can have one or more representations like application/XML, application/JSON, text/HTML, etc. And clients and server negotiate to select the representation. In RESTful web service, request and response contain not only the data but additional headers. These headers describe how the content should be handled, whether content should be hashed, any authentication requirement, etc. Suppose we want to get employee detail whose employee ID is 123. Then in case of SOAP web service, we have to send SOAP request like this. And we have to follow the guidelines of SOAP. But in case of RESTful web service, we have to use this URI along with get method. So compared to SOAP web service, RESTful web service is easy to use. Here you can see example of RESTful web service API endpoint. Open the first endpoint, which gives a list of user information. Suppose I want to get the particular user information, then slash pass the user ID. I'm passing 3, and we got the information of the user where user ID is 3. Click on this products endpoint, and we got a list of all the products. Suppose I want to get information of a particular product, then pass the product ID. I am passing product ID as 5. And here I got the information of the product where product ID is 5. And you can see how easily we can use RESTful web service compared to SOAP web service. Here you can see the server, here you can see the client. In case of RESTful web service, the communication between client and server are stateless, which means whenever client send request to the server, the request should contain all the data which is necessary to handle the request, and server won't maintain any state or session. In case of statelessness, the server should not require to store the state of the session. If the concept of a session is required, then all the information should be stored at client side and send it with every subsequent request. This makes every request from client to server is independent and a complete entity itself. For example, if a person is adding item to his cart on a shopping website, the state of the cart should be stored at client side only. And this state of the cart has to be sent from client to the server whenever required. In case of RESTful web service, hashing happens at client side. Here you can see the client which sends a request to the server. Server process the request and send response back to the client. In the response, some indication will be there whether the response should be hashable or not in the client side. Like here you can see the response header. Here you can see the hash control, and max age is 180, meaning it indicates the client should hash the response in the client side. So the hashing improves the performance by reducing number of requests for duplicate resources. And also it makes sure the communication between client and server are stateless. Here you can see the client, here you can see the server. In between, there can be multiple layers can exist. And these layers can be used for message translations or improving performance with hashing, etc. Examples of layers are proxies and gateways. Here you can see the client, here you can see the server. And in between, there are two layers are there. The first one is proxies, and second one is gateways. Proxies are chosen by the client, and gateways are chosen by the server. There can be several proxies and gateways, and client may send request to the proxy server instead of main server, and proxy server evaluates the request to simplify or control its complexity, etc. And gateways may be used for managing traffic on the network, protocol translation, etc. Here you can see the client, here you can see the server. In between, hashing layer is there. Suppose a client want a certain resource, then the request first goes to hashing layer. It will check whether resource is there in the hashing layer or not. And this is the first time request, so resource won't be there in the hashing layer. And the request goes to the server. Server process the request and send the resource back to the hashing layer. And hashing layer store that particular resource for an hour, and immediately send the resource back to the client. And after 15 minutes, client requests the same resource again. So request goes to the hashing layer, and it will check resource is there or not. Resource will be there because the resource is hashed in the hashing layer. So it will get the resource and send the resource back to the client. And this way it improves the performance by not hitting the server again and again. Code on demand concept is nothing but ability to download and execute code at client side. For example, client requests a resource to the server. Server returns a resource with some JavaScript. REST is nothing but representational state transfer. In case of RESTful web service, the resource representation is transferred between server and the client. Representation is nothing but current state of the resource. The representation can be XML, JSON, HTML, or YAML. And here you can see I am trying to get image1 detail, and representation is JPEG. So I will get like this. And here I am getting details of image1, and representation is XML. So I will get detail like this in XML format. So what is REST? REST is nothing but representational state transfer. REST is a set of rules to guide data exchange or communication between two applications. REST is principles to guide how data or information of a resource is transferred using representations. Representations can be an XML or JSON or JPEG or YAML, etc. You can get Java source code link for each video in the description section of the video. Here you can see the description section. Click on show more, and here you can see the Java source code links. Click on these links to get the Java source code.